Kanto, the region where everything all began. And let's be honest, don't lie to yourself, you absolutely love it. Now originally when I was trying to think of a video to do, I was thinking, oh, I should do a good old-fashioned tier list of ranking every single Pokemon in the original Kanto 151. And let me know in the comments if you want me to do that, because I would quite like to do that. But I'm a TCG channel, so I was thinking, let's make it a little bit different. So today, I'm going to be going with you my favourite card from every Gen 1 Pokemon. Now since 1999, I can sure you imagine there's been a few to come out, let's say that. So I've been painstakingly going through every single card from every single Pokemon in Generation 1 to find my favourite one. In this video, I'll be showing you the card that it is, I'll be giving you the last sold on eBay, I'll be giving you the illustrator, and I'll be giving you the year that it came out. Now, seeing as there are 151 of these to go through, let's not waste any time, let's go and have a little look at what I've got. When I was making this list, I did also kind of like, throughout the whole entire time, flip around like, what am I choosing? Sometimes I was picking like the card in general, sometimes I was like really just focusing on the artwork because there wasn't like as many to choose from, but yeah, so there may be some inconsistencies with like, oh, but surely there's like a more expensive card or a better card. It's purely a subjective list, so if you have different ideas, then comment down below. If you're thinking like, how are you missing that, then let me know in the comments down below. So of course we are starting off with 001 Bulbasaur himself, and I promise you this is not what it's like for the whole entire video, but for the first one I had to pick the brand new one, the illustration rare from Stellar Crown, debuting in 2024. Now I've got a nice easy one to start with, but I am going to preface by saying I'm very sorry if I get any pronunciations wrong on any of the illustrators, because obviously the Japanese names might be a bit hard for me to pronounce, so I'm going to try my best, and if there's a really confusing one then I'll Google it first, but hopefully I'll get them near enough alright. But this illustrator for the Bulbasaur card is Orca, and the last sold on eBay was £47. Then we have Ivysaur. Now this one was quite a hard one. I thought there'd be a lot more like glaringly obvious ones that I'd really want to pick out. And you may be thinking of like the 151 or anything like that, but no. I went with this one from Crystal Guardians, debuting in 2006. Now the illustrator of this one is Nakamura, and the last sold on eBay was just £1.50, so pretty cheap there. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, there was a lot to choose from Venusaur, so after a lot of back and forth, I chose this one, this XY promo, debuting in 2013. I absolutely love this card, and I just thought that it was like, I don't know, it's so unique, and the illustrator is Saito, and it was going for £73 on last sold on eBay. Now again, as you can imagine, many Charmander cards to pick from, so a lot of scrolling and clicking to see what I wanted, but I eventually went with this one, which is from EX Dragon, debuting in 2003. I don't know why, I just think he looks so cute in this artwork, so I thought I'd have to go for that one, and this one is illustrated by the man himself, Arita. Now I couldn't find any last solds that were raw, so the last one I could find was a PSA 10, that went for £335. Now this one might seem a bit underwhelming, but like I just kind of went for what artwork I really liked, so I ended up going with this one here from Team Up, which was in 2019. Now this was illustrated by another big name, Yoshida, and it only goes for £2. Now of course the next one is a big boy. We have a Charizard card, of course, and it goes to this amazing Gold Star Charizard. Now, I know it's obviously one of the most expensive ones I could have picked, but personally, I'm not a huge Charizard fan, but Shiny Charizard, Shiny Charizard is absolutely gorgeous, honestly. So, this comes from Dragon Frontier, debuting in 2006. This was illustrated by Fukuda, and it went last sold on eBay for 1.1k, so definitely the biggest one on my list. Next we have this Squirtle card, which I do actually own in my own personal collection, which is nice to have a card that I actually have in my own personal collection, and it comes from Team Magma versus Team Aqua in 2004. Now this was illustrated by none other than Ken Sugimori, so big name there, and of course it went for, last sold on eBay, it went for £57. Again, Wartortle here being something that's a little bit less, I don't know, not underwhelming, just I kind of just going for different artworks I really like, to be honest with you. So this one, again, team up. So clearly the team up artworks are doing something good for me in 2019. Now I may completely butcher this name, so I'm very sorry if I do, but I'm going to read it because I'm not going to be able to try and remember it. I think it's Sutsui? I don't know, I'm going to go with that one, and last sold for £2.70. Next we have this Blastoise, which is actually staying on the same vein as the Venusaur, and it is the XY promo from 2013. Again, very sorry if I butcher the name, but this was illustrated by Kawayo, and it went for £46 last sold on eBay. Next we have Caterpie, which I had to literally go back to the very roots and choose base set Caterpie from 1999. Of course, being illustrated by Ken Sugimori, and last sold, it was £23. I was surprised at that. I didn't think it would be that much, and I was like looking at previous ones as well, but apparently Caterpie is just desirable. Next we have this Metapod card, which I really, really like these clay ones, which is made by a particular artist, which I'll be saying in a moment. So they're all done by the same person, but I do genuinely really love some of them. Well, no, I love all of them, but some of them most clearly, as you'll see further down the list as well. But this one was from Sun and Moon base set in 2017. Now the illustrator is none other than Yukamori, and it's literally going for £1. You can get this beautiful card for £1 on eBay. Next we have this amazing Butterfree card. I absolutely love it. It definitely gives me a throwback to the anime from the original Indigo League anime, so had to pick this one. Really, really nice one here. From Expedition in 2002. Now this was illustrated by Kizuki, and it goes for £33. Then we move on to Weedle, and I chose this one, this Koga's Weedle actually. I think it's just a really, really cute artwork, to be honest with you, from Gym Challenge in 2000. Again, another recurring name, Ken Sugimori coming in again, and this one you can buy for just £2. Then we have Kakuna, and despite there being loads of Kakuna cards, my favourite one is actually like the most recent one, which is from 151 and the set Scarlet and Violet 151, and obviously that came out in 2023. Now this was illustrated by Nisimono, and of course it's just a common card, so it's going for about £1. Next we have Beedrill. Now I was actually kind of struggling. I remember I kind of struggled finding a good one for Beedrill because they sometimes make Beedrill look like, I don't know, really, really, really evil, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. But I ended up going with this one here from XY base set in 2014. Now this is illustrated by Nagasawa, and again it just goes for £1. Next we have Pidgey, and this one I thought was just a really, really cute artwork, to be honest with you. Like some of my picks, you couldn't really like track my picks, to be honest with you, because some of them look more realistic, some of them look way more cartoony. So I don't know, I just kind of gravitated towards certain ones, and it took me a while to go through all these because I was being very picky. I was like, oh no, I like that one more, no, I like that one more. But anyways, Pidgey, I went with this one, which is from Secret Wonders in 2007. Now this was illustrated by Yoshida, and it goes for £2. Then we have Pidgeotto, which I had to, you know, I feel like I kind of struggled finding one for this one. I don't know. I just feel like there was nothing that was really like grabbing me in particular. But ended up going with this one from Team Up in 2019. Now this is illustrated by Mizu, and it goes for just £1.30. Then we have Pidgeot, and that is another one that is really, really, really nice. I really like this card, to be honest with you. And the photo that I managed to find has a fat swirl on it. I'm looking at it on my phone. That's why if I ever look down, it's because I'm looking at the actual card itself on my phone. And it's from Fire Red Leaf Green in 2004. Now this is illustrated by Harada, and despite it being a really, really nice holo, it only goes for about £5. Now I have Rattata, which again, this one and Raticate, I'm going to say for both of them, was a struggle because there's not really much artwork you can do to make this Pokemon look nice. In my opinion, I just don't like the Pokemon, to be honest with you. Prefer Rattata. Raticate is just shut your mouth, mate. But anyways, ended up going with this one here from Platinum Arceus, which was released in 2009. Now this is illustrated by Tanaka, and it goes for just £1. Then we have Raticate, and I chose this Dark Raticate actually from Team Rocket Returns, coming out in 2004. Now this is illustrated by Saito, and it is, I couldn't find a last sold raw again, so the last thing I could find was a PSA 9 going for £60. Then we of course have Spearow, and this one, I just thought the artwork is funny. I don't know why, I just look at it now, it just looks funny, I can't lie. But anyways, Fire Red Leaf Green again in 2004. Now this is illustrated by Nakamura and it went last sold on eBay for £3. Now, I think I've said it before, but Spearow is probably one of my least favourite Pokemon because it looks so weird. I don't like him. I really don't like him. But this on artwork I do actually really like. So my favourite pick of the Spearow cards is actually Lieutenant Surge's Spearow from Gym Heroes in 2000. Probably the reason why I like this one is because it was illustrated by Ken Sugimori and the last sold on this one was £23. Then we move on to Ekans, and again we have another one that's popping up here from Yukamori herself, and it is one of the beautiful clay creation ones. So that was another one that I was, it suited the I feel like I picked ones that suit the Pokemon. You'll see further down the line as well what I mean by that. But this was from Dragon Frontiers in 2006, and it last sold for £1.80. Now again, another one where there are plenty of cards that have come out over the years for Arbok, but my favourite one is actually just a common card from Temporal Forces, which of course came out in 2023. Now this is illustrated by Minato, and it's just going for £1 as a common card. Oh boy, there was, now we move on to Pikachu. There was 1 or 500 to try and pick from. I think we all know that he is like the most card illustrator because of all the promos and all just the general common cards over the years. So this one was very hard to try and nail down. And they're probably, if I spent like an hour analysing all of them, I might change my mind. But after spending probably still too much of a long time trying to decide one, I ended up going with this one. It's quite a niche one. It is a McDonald's promo card from 2002. I don't know why, I just really like the background work. I like the way that Pikachu looks. He looks all cute. I like when he looks cute. I don't like when he's like depicted in artwork as being like all angry and but like, yeah, I don't know. I think it looks really cute. It shows off his whole body. It shows off his electrifying stuff. I don't know, it just looks, in my opinion, just a really nice one. And the E-Series border, I'm definitely, I never used to be, but I'm definitely a fan of E-Series borders. And of course, with this one here, you have the holo with the E-Series border as well, which is really nice. So yes, of course, that came out in 2002. And it took me so long to try and find a picture because I couldn't find the illustrator. And trying to find a picture where I know it tells you the illustrator at the bottom of the card, but it's blurry, everyone's blurry. So I'm going with Ota. That might be completely wrong. I'm very sorry if it is. If someone can correct me in the comments, please do, because I couldn't find it. I could not find it. It was so annoying. And the last sold of this one actually went for £147.50 on eBay. Then we move on to Raichu, which there are still plenty to choose from, but not quite as daunting as the Pikachu ones. And I ended up going with this one, the Primal Pikachu. Really nice. I know I literally just said that I don't like when Pikachu is depicted as being angry, and I've literally chosen the one Raichu card where he looks really angry. But it's a really cool card, to be honest with you. It's really a cool card, and it's from Undaunted, which was in 2010. Now this is illustrated by Yamaguchi, and it went last sold for £32. Then we have my boy, we have Sandshrew, and literally in my last video that I made, I was like, I don't like looking up all the Sandshrew cards because I want to be surprised when I find one I don't have. Well, I spoilt that for myself by looking at every single Sandshrew card on this list, obviously, but I'm gonna pretend I didn't. I'm gonna just like erase them all from my mind. But my favourite pick was one that I don't actually have. It is this gorgeous card right here from Sandstorm, which released in 2003. Now this is illustrated by, again, Saito, and it goes just for £1.65, so it's my favourite one. It's not gonna be breaking the bank to go and grab it. And then we have Sand Slash, and I actually have this card already. It's a Dark Sand Slash from Team Rocket Returns in 2004. Now this is illustrated by Fukuda, and its last sold was £3.60. Then we have Nidoran Female, and this was actually quite hard to, I don't know, to try and pick one, to try and find one, to be honest with you. I don't know, there wasn't any that really like grabbed me, I remember, when I was trying to look through them all. But this one, again, from Team Up. I seem to like all the common cards from Team Up. There seems to be like my safety blanket. Like if I can't pick one, I'll just pick one from Team Up, which I don't do on purpose. So again, 2019. Now this is illustrated by Kuro, and again, just £1, it's a common card. Now for Nidorino, I went with this really nice one here from Skyridge in 2003. This was illustrated by Harada, and it goes for £9. Actually a bit more than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a little bit cheaper than that, but you know what? Fair enough, it's a nice card. I would know, I picked it. Then we have the Nidoking, of course, and I chose this one here. It's a bit different from the other ones, yeah, I don't know, just, it's a really nice card to be honest with you, from Primal Clash in 2015. Now this is illustrated by Planeta, and their name's in capitals, so I don't know if it's like a, you know, like a stage name sort of thing, but Planeta, and then it went for £4.60 on eBay. Then we have Nidoran Male, and I had to take it back. I went all the way back to base set on this one, of course coming out in 1999. Of course, as it was that long ago, Ken Sugimori was the illustrator, artist, and it just goes for £1. It's not that big of a deal. Then we have Nidorino, which again was kind of hard to find another one that I like, to be honest with you. I don't know, I'm just clearly not a fan of this line. To be fair, I like Nidoking and Nidoqueen, but the early stages I'm just not as big of a fan of. But I ended up going with this one from Steam Siege in 2016. Now this is illustrated by Tokiya, and again, £1 is a common card. Now for Nidoking, I ended up going with Giovanni's Nidoking, actually. Really, really cool card. I just love this one. Like, he takes up like half the box. I don't know, or no, not even that, like 3/4 of the box. I don't know, it's a really cool card, to be honest with you. And it's from Gym Challenge in 2000. Again, illustrated by Ken Sugimori, and it went last sold for £34. Then we have Clefairy, and if you've been watching any of my recent videos, then you'll probably know that I'm going to pick this one, which is of course from Battle Partners, and as of recording we don't have it in English yet, so I'm still going to be saying Battle Partners. I've been trying to just do English cards the whole entire time, unless it's like specific promos, like that Pikachu was a Japanese card and it was only Japanese. But yeah, so this one, it's not available in English, so I had to go with Japanese, but of course that debuted this year, 2025. Now again, this one was not made by one person. It's from what I found, it's 5-band graphics and DOM, and the last sold raw on this was £21. Then we have Clefable, which I ended up going with this really, really gorgeous one from Fire Red Leaf Green in 2004. This is illustrated by Arita, and it went last sold for £27.60. Now there are so many Vulpix cards that are so cute. There are so many really cute Vulpix cards, but my favourite one, which I was pretty much ranking which ones I thought were like cutest, and I'm going with this one here, Rebel Clash 2020. Now this is illustrated by Sui, and it's just £1, again, common card. Now for Ninetales, I pretty much didn't have to look at the other ones that were available to me, because I instantly went for the Obsidian Flames illustration rare from 2023. Honestly, like the fairy tale sort of vibes from this one is such a gorgeous card, honestly. Now this is illustrated by Nanahara, and it last sold for £23. Then we have Jigglypuff, and this one was like, does it count? I don't know if it counts. It's a tag team, it counts, it's got Jigglypuff in it. But I ended up going with this Mega Lopunny and Jigglypuff tag team from Cosmic Eclipse in 2019. I just think that it's such a lovely card. I'm going to stop using that word because I use it so many times. It's a lovely card, it's a really, really lovely card. Pretty, beautiful, there we go, other words. Now this is illustrated by Shibuzo, and the last sold on it was £77, and I do genuinely really want this card one day, so hopefully I can grab it. The next one, of course, is Wigglytuff, and I ended up going with this one here from Hidden Legends in 2004. Now this is another one I may completely butcher. I think it's Ueda. I don't know. I'm going to try that. And last sold on it was £17.50. Now here comes another duo where it was hard for me to try and find cards that I made the Pokemon look good because I just don't like the line. We have Zubat coming in here from Neo Revelation in 2001. Now to be fair, I do actually pretty like this artwork. I think it's pretty unique, so I'm actually happy with my choice after I took some time to, you know, process it and look at them all. This is illustrated by Baba, and it goes for £2. Again, after quite a lot of looking back and forth, I'm pretty happy with my choice of Dark Golbat coming from Team Rocket Returns in 2004. Now this is illustrated by Fukuda, and it went last sold on eBay for £6. Then we have my boy Oddish. Oh, I love Oddish so much. And like all of his cards are cute, so it was kind of really, really hard to pick one. But I ended up going with this one here, quite a niche one. Again, Japanese exclusive, because it's again another McDonald's promo from 2002. I don't know if it's the same set as the Pikachu one, but it might be. So maybe I've got a love for that McDonald's bundle. This was illustrated by Yoshida, and it last sold for £10. Another one here where I pretty much just knew instantly which one I was going to pick, and it is this Gloom from Obsidian Flames, of course, in 2023. Illustrated by Tommy, and it was last sold on eBay for £13. Now, I didn't know this. I thought I would find Vileplume really hard to pick. I didn't know this card existed. I want this card. Oh my gosh. From Cosmic Eclipse in 2019, of course. Illustrated by Himeno, and last sold on eBay was £41. I'm going to need to find this card whenever I go to a show. No, I mean, I go to shows every weekend, but like, I don't know, when I go to a show, when I find this, oh my gosh, I want it. Then we have Paras, which is another one where I'm like, are there any actual nice ones of you too? Because, you know, don't look that good. But I did manage to pick one from my beloved Crown Zenith, of course, coming out in 2023. Now, this is illustrated by Saito, and the last sold on this was just £3. The trend continues where I use Team Up as my backup thing. So we have this Paras card from Team Up in 2019. Now, this Parasect card was illustrated by Shirai, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, and of course last sold was just £1. Then we're going back to the lovely clay ones for this Venonat, which was in Unbroken Bonds in 2019, of course illustrated by Yukimori, and just going for £1. Now, another extremely modern one here we have is the Venomoth, which is from Scarlet and Violet 151, of course coming out in 2023. This is illustrated by Himeno, and of course common card, £1. Then we have Diglett, another one of my favourites from Kanto. I absolutely love Diglett. He's so simple, but he's so cute. I absolutely love him. So we have this amazing card right here from Chilling Reign in 2021. This is illustrated by Gunjima, and it's just £1. It's £1, guys, £1. Then we have Dugtrio, of course, and this one here was my favourite. I don't know, it's funny. It's a funny card, and it's from Sword and Shield base set in 2020. This is illustrated by Umemoto, and it goes for £1. Okay, so I genuinely had absolutely no idea that this video would be such a mammoth video, so I'm going to have to split this into different parts. So this is going to be the end of part 1, and going by the rate of like what I'm doing, I've done about 50 in this one, so there'll probably be 3 parts to this video, and but yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed the first part at least. Make sure, of course, to let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the video, because obviously there's 2 more parts coming to this, so please let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the video. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, share around, all that good stuff. We're creeping closer and closer to 2K, somehow unbelievable. Thank you so much, everyone. I've got loads of videos coming planned. I've got Card of Cardshare coming up, I've got CardCon coming up, I've got so many amazing bio POVs and other content like this as well coming up, so make sure to stay tuned for all of that. And also, thank you so much to PokeSwamper and TechPunt Ash for being greatest lab team members of my YouTube channel. So grateful for those 2. For now though, make sure to stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!